And we are good to go, Brett. Off you go.
Welcome to Brett.J.S. Productions, and welcome to the final major project, which is the relaxation of Mr. Fox. The film is about Mr. Fox, who is under so much stress that he decides to take a nice relaxing bath. And when he does, some short sequences take place inside his head. One of them will be a colourful sequence done to the pace of a massage, snow falling, and finally a dance sequence inspired by the works of artist Anna Kuchler-Czech. There will be no dialogue in the film because it's going to be done out like a ballet, similar to films like The Snowman, Street of Crocodiles and The Sandman. And one of the plans I have is to use real bubbles in the film, but only bubbles because I'm worried that water might damage the puppet. I'm hoping that the film will be finished by the 25th of May, and I shall edit the music when necessary, and that the film will hopefully be 20 minutes. It will. And here's the timeline of how the ideas have been coming along, like the idea generation, etc., etc. It's mainly for fantasy fans, the target audience, and people who are in need of relaxation or can relate to this film. And it's also for classic music fans, it is. But it's not suitable, though, for very younger viewers, aged 0 to 8, because there's some very depressing scenes which you shall see in a minute. And here is a spidergram, or a web, whatever you would like to call it, of some of the ideas I had for the film, like classical music, the spa-like film, and for the past, present, and future. And now we are going to see some short sequences, well, short music examples of what's going to be in the film. The first one is Saint Signs, the Aquarium. Is the sound working?
Might just need turned up here.
It is. And here is the second quick example, Paul. And these can only be quick examples because we haven't got much time. It's beautiful, isn't it? You'll see in a minute what it's going to be used for. Now we come to the behind-the-scenes images. Here are some of the sketches, as you can see. It won't have wings for the final project, but it was an original idea, and it's always best to show the original idea. These are the wire armatures of Mr. Fox, of how they began at first. Mr. Fox in one of the white line cups armatures at the beginning. And unfortunately, a bit of a mess up, as you can see on the leg there. So scrunch that up and throw it in the bin. Originally, I had planks of wood planned for the film, but now I'm using this paper foam, or whatever it's called, for the film. The fox is now starting to have his fur. And this was the practice model that I created, as Sia suggested, which was a clever idea. And now we come to some of the nasty things that Mr. Fox will see inside his head, like old events like the Titanic sinking and the Twin Towers getting blown up, and sickly things like cancer, or even just a little thing like cancelled films and TV shows. And now we go on to something a little nicer, the inspirations part. The background is going to be loosely inspired by YouTube relaxation images, Maleficent and A Midsummer Night's Dream, just like any fantasy film or book, which is the genre for the film, as I like fantasy. The other inspirations are Spa Days, the work of Anna Kulacek, which is going to be for a dance sequence, different classical music put together in one project like Tchaikovsky and Fantasia, and the Lion Cubs will have something exciting around their neck to give them characters, like these ones here, and Mr. Shakespeare, as you can see. But the main inspiration of the film is going to be the films of Barry Purvis, like Screenplay, which you shall see in a minute, and Tchaikovsky, because it's classical music put together, and a dancing puppet. And now we have a special sneak peek, the relaxation of Mr. Fox opening. They're all the different achievements that I've succeeded at in life, and the impossible things that have happened, and people who I've been lucky to meet. And old artworks. That's Mum and Dad. At this point it will flash to the main film, it will. And lastly we come to a snowy sneak peek, which is what the Mozart music will be used for. And now, is there any questions you would like to
Excellent,
ask?
Brett. So, with the timescale of this project and your idea being you reckon it's going to be about 20 minutes long, how confident are you you're going to get that done in the time frame?
Well, I'm going to do the best I can, is what I shall say. And if I have to cut a sequence, then that's just the way it will have to be. Because a lot of movie makers have to cut a scene because of time and that.
Stuff. And what's your plan sort of week by week at the moment? Do you sort of know what you intend to do kind of 1 week to the next with this project?
I think so. During the Easter holidays, I shall carry on building the puppets, I will, and do the massage sequence, I will, at home. And there won't be a person massage, it will be a colours, paint and that, massaged together, like a colour, technicolour thing.
Excellent. And will this project be a mix of sort of your puppetry, animation and
some live
stop
action
motion as well?
Yeah, a little bit of live action, but not much of it.
Oh.
It's mainly stop motion, it is. You might consider the paint thing hand-drawn, but it is mainly a paint thing, it is.
Excellent. Cool. Okay, that's bro. Excellent.